Hi, this is Teresa with Finger Lakes Wine Country. Joining me today is Amy Hoffman, one of the owners at Rooster Vineyards. And today we're going to be talking to Amy about their fantastic portfolio of white, red, and dessert wines and how each of those will pair perfectly with our holiday dishes. So thanks, Amy, for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
So we first just want to start by telling me about what you have for the upcoming holiday, Thanksgiving, since that's hot in everyone's mind.
Well, what we have today is Gewürztraminer and Rieslings, and they come in many styles. So one thing I always urge consumers as you're trying to select those holiday wines is make sure you go out and visit the wineries if you have the opportunity to sample them, or do some of the in-store tastings at the wine shops locally. Because Rieslings and Gewürz can be very dry, or they can move up to the semi-sweet category. So you've got to identify which one suits your palate. But the reason I like both Gewürz and Rieslings is they're cool climate grapes, which means they ripen slowly on the vine, and they're able to really develop good characters, flavors, and aromas. And their alcohol levels are fairly reasonable, 11 to 12%, which makes them good wines for pairing for food. High alcohol wines really overpower food, and you kind of miss the whole balance of food and wine and the complementary relationship that should exist. I think they're both really ideal for turkey because whether you eat the white meat or the dark meat, turkey's kind of a middle weight food, and these wines are the same weight. I often caution people to match the weight of the wine with the weight of the food. If you were preparing big filet mignon or a big hearty beef stew, you might look for a Cabernet or a Cabernet Franc with a little more texture and a little more heft. But with turkey and all the nice side dishes, you want to taste those flavors and aromas. And these are both very fruit-forward, good acid balance, crisp, refreshing finish. You know, there is a red that I would recommend, and it's a nice red, Pinot Noir, often known as the heartbreak grape. The tannins are soft and fine. It's a medium weight wine. Has lovely, delicate flavors of cherry and strawberry, and that pairs well with turkey. You know, you've got the dressing with little sage herbs in it, the sweet potatoes, the yams, the squash. That wine is not too big for those types of food, so it won't overpower them, and it will be a nice complement to them.
So I think our viewers have a real good idea of what to serve for Thanksgiving. So Thanksgiving is going to be here and gone before we know it. Let's move on to Christmas. So some people tend to have ham for the holiday, other people have lasagna, maybe beef. So what can you serve for those dishes?
Ham often goes well with a Gewürztraminer and a Riesling. Ham has a little saltiness to it, so you might want to select a wine a little more on the semi-sweet range just to balance the sweetness and the salty. That's always a nice option. You know, a Chardonnay can go with a ham as well, as long as it's not too overly oaked. You want very light oak or no oak at all, and it'd be great together. When you move on to, like, my family likes hearty roast beef or leg of lamb at the holiday time, I love a Cabernet Franc because I just love the texture, the weight, and the heft of it. Good berry flavor, a little smokiness from the oak, so there's a lot of layers of flavor. Also, the Cabernet Sauvignon would work as well. There's another wine for consideration, and if you're a duck or a lamb lover, I'd recommend our Estate Cabernet Franc Lemberger blend. This is a nice wine because it has lots of layers of flavor. It has the nice big bold berries of the Cabernet Franc, but like the fresh crushed black pepper in the middle that the Lemberger lends the wine, and then it has a nice smoky bacon finish that the oak introduces. So this has been very popular in our tasting room. And again, when you don't want to drink homogenized wines. You don't want every cab tastes like a cab. You want to mix it up a little bit and put some different wines in here, sometimes blends, so I wouldn't overlook those during the holiday time. In fact, it might be nice to serve a couple different wines on your table so your guests have some variety and can identify really what suits their palate.